Or is it me?
He's never been the same since my mother died.
Can I help you? You're back. Please, tell me what you found. Let me see that. Huh, I knew it. Gratian's death wasn't because of a rockfall. It was just a story to keep people away from the tombs. Now that I have his journal in hand, I can get some closure from the East Empire Company. Make them pay for lying to everyone. Thank you. Now, I believe I owe you a little more than a debt of gratitude for all that work you did. Here, it's not much, but it's the best an old retired miner can do. Those cowards left decades ago. Every single damned one of them. The moment the ebony mine dried up, they pulled up stakes. Ridiculous. Solstheim is still rich in ebony ore. I know there's more down there. I can smell it. I come from 3 generations of miners, and I'm telling you that the East Empire Company was wrong. They just didn't want to spend the coin trying to find it. Our home has stood in Raven Rock since the colony was founded. Gratian helped build it with his own 2 hands. After Gratian died, he left behind a wife and a son. My grandfather, Relicus. Relicus lived there for quite a long time, working in the other sections of the mine until he was slain by reavers. I never knew my father. My mother and I always lived alone. I asked her about him many times, but she seemed angry and refused to speak about him. So eventually, I let it go. When I was old enough, I began working in the mine, hoping to make my fortune and eventually move to the Imperial City. Unfortunately, yes. I only had enough coins saved to send one of us back to the Imperial City. So I sent my mother alone. I wanted her to see her homeland before she died. Until I met my darling Aphia, yes. I suppose you could have called me a bitter old hermit. Now I'm just old. Mark my words, Raven Rock isn't finished yet.
I'm sorry to bother you, but Second Councillor Rano asked me to come find you. He said it's quite urgent. All he wanted me to do is track you down and send you to him. Look, this is important. Even more important than wiping out the ash spawn. Please, go speak to the Second Councillor as soon as possible.
Allow me to apologize for Crucius's behavior. I'm afraid he hasn't been himself lately.
Thank you for coming. After everything you've already done for Raven Rock, I hate to ask for more, but I can't risk Councillor Morvain being killed. The Ulan family of House Lalu, a rival great house, has placed a death mark on the Councillor's head. It's a private matter. Let's just say they seek revenge for the execution of one of their own, ordered by Councillor Morvain himself. The problem is I don't have any solid proof that anyone from House Lalu is hidden among us. Only my suspicions. It may be justified, but it certainly isn't appreciated. Councillor Morvain simply feels that I'm being paranoid. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead. And I don't want it to come to that. I do. I've received some information from my sources that there could be elements of Ulan's house, House Lalu, already in Ravenrock. Ravenrock is a small settlement, so it's hard to accomplish anything in secret. If any of them is from House Lalu, I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing. I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me. I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Ravenrock and see if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. Can't afford to make any mistakes. Traitors. The lot of them. Their collaboration with the Empire may have given them unrivaled political and economic strength, but their hearts weren't with the Dunmer people. Lalu deserved every bit of hatred they received once the Empire released its grasp on Morrowind. Having past ties to the Empire immediately turned them into the scapegoat for the Dunmer people's suffering. They had welcomed the Empire with open arms and benefited from it. When everything was said and done, they were no longer recognized as a great house and were dismissed from the council. During the Oblivion Crisis, gates to the Plane of Oblivion opened all over Morrowind. The Empire pulled most of its forces out of Morrowind to deal with the gates in their own homeland, leaving us virtually defenseless. We had no standing army at the time, just uncoordinated pockets of resistance. House Redoran took charge and was slowly able to build an army. It took years, but it became a force to be reckoned with. When the Argonians invaded years later, House Redoran's army was able to prevent them from sweeping across all of Morrowind. It would be fair to say that House Redoran literally saved the Dunmer people from destruction. I maintain a few contacts in other Dunmer settlements across Tamriel. Most hail from House Redoran, but there are a few from other houses. Most of my contacts live leagues away from Solstheim. Sending the occasional message back and forth is all we can manage, and sometimes takes months or more to arrive. However, any information we can glean in times like this, I consider vital to House Redoran's survival. Don't worry. You can trust Geldis. He's been with us for a long time.
Squatting isn't tolerated in the abandoned buildings. If you need a place to stay, head to the corner club.
Modin Veleth, captain of the Redoran. Good. This will help me keep things running without having to worry about a bunch of soldiers falling asleep on duty. Here, take this for your trouble.
This is House Redoran territory. You do well. Teldrin Sero, blade for hire. If you have the coin. The best swordsman in all Morrowind is at your service.
Welcome to the wretched next.
For the right price.
Did I know someone by that name? Someone that wanted something. Maybe I'm just confused. I can't be sure. Until next time.
You look able to venture outside of town. Perhaps you could help me recover something precious that was lost. A few months ago, I had sent an important folio to the first edition bookshop in the Imperial City to be rebound. They sent it back to me recently, but it never arrived. Yes, the Strident Squall, or something like that. The damn thing sunk right off the coast of Solstheim. Can you imagine? One of the sailors survived. Poor thing crawled all the way to Raven Rock on his hands and knees. Before he died, he told the Redoran Guard about the wreck and warned us that it was going to be crawling with reavers. Thank you. You have no idea how much it hurts losing such a precious heirloom. My husband is second counselor, so your efforts in Raven Rock have proven most invigorating for my husband. I haven't seen him this pleased in many years. Adral Arano, second counselor of Raven Rock. How I hate that title. Damn fool's going to get himself killed over it someday. He's in grave danger, and yet he continues to place himself in harm's way. When I fall asleep at night, all I can do is hope he'll still be there when I awaken. This island was never meant for us. There's too much death here. I assure you, if I could convince Adral to do that, I'd be on the next ship back to Blacklight. Unfortunately, Adral and Councillor Morvain are very close friends, and they will never abandon one another, despite my feelings. I'm the wife of a second counselor, and certain things are expected of me. The most important thing is that I stand by Adral no matter how I feel, and I intend to do that until we get off this miserable rock. Adral and I lived in Blacklight, the capital city of Morrowind. House Redoran has improved Blacklight substantially over the last 1,000 years. Its grandeur rivals that of Mournhold itself. The root spire where the Council of Great Houses meet is something to behold. I haven't seen the city in over 50 years. Even for a Dunmer, that seems like an eternity. Regardless, I hope to return there someday, which doesn't seem likely given my husband's commitment to Councillor Morvain. Why does that sound so familiar? There's no one here by that name, and yet I swear I've heard it. I don't know. It almost feels like a dream. Something about a temple on the island.
Trailer.
My husband is second counselor, so I certainly have the means to reward you if you find my folio.
It's not from your father. It's from Captain Velith.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what you did in those mines, but it put a smile on Cretius's face.
What did he say?
I've never seen him so happy.
He said he'll meet you where you met for the first time. He said you know what it means.
I do. Thank you. The mines are open and the shop is busy again. Thank you.
Welcome to the Wretched Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sujammer that will ever grace your lips. The finest Sujammer to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sujammer. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it. I was kinda hoping you'd say that. Here, take these samples of the Sujamma and spread the word. If you get rid of all of them, there's something extra in it for you. The mine's open, people are buying drinks, and I'm making money again. Just like old times. How do you feel? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again. Thirsty workers at the end of the day, and more coin than I can count. There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sujamma in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink," and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick.
Is this true?
True story, friend. True story.
My hands are clean. See that they stay that way, or else I'll send you back to Skyrim in a crate.
Well, Adril's got himself a spy, does he? Azura knows he needs all the help he can get. He's been chasing the Ulins for years now. No, I just think he's going about this the wrong way. Actually, I do. If you want to catch those slippery slaughterfish, you need to let them come to you. There's an Ulin ancestral tomb near the temple. Someone's been leaving ash yam offerings on the altar inside. If you were to wait inside for whomever that is, I'm betting they'll have some of the answers you're looking for.
I don't think he ever wants me to feel the pain.
What makes you think I haven't? Anytime Adril and the Redarin Guard made a move, the Ulins must have been one step ahead and didn't show up. You can thank me if it works. Until then, I'd head to the tomb and wait until your visitor shows up. When a Dunmer is laid to rest, the body is burned and returned to the ashen soil. Since the ash yam is born of the very same soil, it represents rebirth and renewal, the fact that life ends and begins anew. Back in 95, Vila Ulin came to Raven Rock with a plan to take over our town. The Fetcher thought he could stir up the locals and use them against the Redarin Guard, and then murder Councillor Morvain when we weren't looking. He arrived alone, but spread enough coin around to start changing people's minds. Half the bloody town joined his side. Can you believe that? He underestimated the Redarin Guard. They were organised and brought a swift end to the coup. Vila tried to run, but he was caught by Captain Velith himself. Vila Ulin was executed a short time later, and his remains placed in the Ulin ancestral tomb. If you've got gold on your hands, you might talk to Rallis of the Colbjorn Barrow. I've heard he wants to excavate the place. The Redarin Guard have spotted a pack of werewolves in the mountains. The hunters up on Frostmoon Crag might know more. Nothing specific, but I'm hearing rumblings of assassins living amongst us. I think they intend to target Councillor Morvain, but I can't be certain. Let's sate that appetite, Come back any time. My doors are always open.
The mines are open and the shop is busy again. Thank you. At least my father will let me drink whatever I want without complaining. Tell Geldis I appreciate it. Keep yourself safe. Solstheim's still a dangerous place.
I don't know what you did in those mines, but it put a smile on Cretius's face. I've never seen him so happy. Well, that sounds lovely. Thank you.
Message for you.
Tell my father if he wants to
Be
speak
careful
to me,
out there.
he should do it in person.
It's not from your father. It's from Captain Velith.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Geldis.
It gets lonely out here,
What
you
did he
know.
say?
Well, tell Geldis that Miri says she really appreciates it.
He said you knew what it means.
And don't stay away for too long.
Thank you.
Modin Veleth, captain of the Redoran Guard, at your service. I've had to muster some more men to protect the mine, but I don't really have a problem with that. Second Councillor Arano is concerned that once word reaches the Reavers that the mine has reopened, they might think about paying us a visit. I say let them try. My men are ready for them. Thank you for your assistance. It's raised my men's spirits quite a bit.
Oh, hello. You looking for a handout or something? My father and mother are the richest on the island, and that includes
If you're looking to
Councillor
purchase
Morgan.
something, speak to my father, Fethis.
Don't be put off by my husband's mood.
Keep
Don't
yourself
stay away
He
safe.
for too
enjoys
long.
having visitors.
Solstheim's still a dangerous
Be careful
place.
out there.
Welcome to... Sorry. Geldis won't allow me to drink while I'm working at Venetch. Drayla.
Teldrin Sero, Blade for Hire. If you have the
I
call,
work for Mogrel.
I'm at
You got
your
a problem?
service.
I'll give
talk
you
to
this
him.
warning only once. Stay out of my way, and we'll do just fine. Take that swill and pour it down a well. No, wait. I recognize the name, but I'm not sure why. I don't know. I feel strange just thinking about it. A temple, maybe. Here on the island, something about a temple?
So where do you...
All right, then.
If there's anything at all I can... If there's anything at all I can do to help, please let me know. What? Oh, no, thank you. I need to keep my head...
serve House Redoran or serve no one.
For all I know, I might be the last Imperial left on Solstheim. I've been made the foreman of the mine, thanks to everything you did down there. It's good to get the old nose working again. I missed sniffing out the ebony deposits and getting my hands dirty. Best of all, Aphia isn't so cross when I go down there anymore. Of course. In fact, Councillor Morvain has given you the full run of the place. Help yourself to whatever you like. We're all in agreement that you're entitled to as much as you can carry. He's begging for patrons again, eh? Well, I suppose I could have just a bit. Thank you, stranger. Thanks for everything.
Excuse me. I didn't realize there was anyone else here. I presume the same thing you're doing, leaving an offering for the departed. Forgive my surprise. It's just that I wouldn't expect that sort of behavior from someone who isn't Dunmer. Since there aren't any Ulans left on this island, I've taken it upon myself to leave the traditional offering in their stead. What do you mean? I thought I was clear. I'm simply honoring a fellow departed Dunmer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to meditate a bit. Please, I don't wish to be disturbed while I'm meditating.
Do you need something?
You think you have it bad. Try walking the ball.
I hope Gelders proved useful. Have you made any progress? Tell us.
So where do you hail from?
Are you sure?
Skyrim.
So Gelders' plan worked, eh?
Have any kinfolk?
Every time we tried it,
Just
no
a
one
brother.
would ever show
Lives
up.
in Riften.
If Telesu's
quite a
involved
distance
in
from
any
here.
sort of plot to
What's
harm
his trade?
Councillor Morvain,
He a blacksmith as
I'm
well.
going to need hard evidence to
Nah.
prove it.
He finds things people are looking for.
I'm not
Makes
kicking
a
down
good bit of
anyone's
coin
door
doing it,
until
too.
I have solid evidence in hand. If you're wrong about Telesu, things would quickly go downhill around here, and the real culprits might slip away. I can't afford for that to happen. If you have evidence, and it places your life in peril, I would expect you to do whatever you must to keep yourself alive. Here, this key should open the front door of the manor in case they've locked it. Good luck. Telesu is wife to the family patriarch Vendel. They have a single child, a daughter named Miri. They arrived here 10 years ago and have been nothing but a benefit to Raven Rock ever since.
If you use them to make your
They're quite
Guarma
wealthy,
execute,
and they've been quite
can
generous
have them
by
for
sharing
free.
their fortune with the community.
It's a deal.
They've contributed coin, food, supplies, even helped repair a few of the buildings in town with their own hands. People have mentioned it's a bit odd about how close in age Mary appears to be to her father, but that's hardly a cause for alarm. Just make sure you find solid evidence. If I accuse them without it, I'll be the laughing stock of the colony. Villa Ulen wasn't the first Ulen to live in Raven Rock. His father, Valen Ulen, was one of the first Dunmer to settle here. Unlike his son, Villa, Valen was a good man. He contributed to the community and was quite respected. When Valen died, his family provided the funds to construct the tomb. The Ulen family being a part of House Lalu didn't matter. It's Dunmer's tradition for the ashes of the deceased to be placed in an ancestral tomb. Valen Ulen and his son's remains were both laid to rest there because that's what he'd requested. You might think it's all perfume and roses now that the mine's open, but all I see is a new security problem on our hands. Making sure those shipments of ebony make it safely from the mine to the shipping docks is my new order of the day. And with Solstheim crawling with reavers and Azora knows what else, I can't risk any attacks on Raven Rock. Be careful. If the Severans have betrayed us, then they'll
You've
be
brought
well
Raven Rock
armed.
back from the brink, traveler. I don't know how to thank you. Oh, how kind. Thank Gelders for me, won't you? My husband is second counselor, so I certainly have the
You
means
got a
to
good thing
resolve
going here now that you've
find my
reopened the
brother.
mines. Don't let it go to waste. I've always had a steady stream of work thanks to the Redoran Guard, so it hasn't affected me much. However, I've seen the smile on people's faces, and there's hope around here once again. Something we've been lacking for a long time. Perfect. I was just thinking about heading over for a drink. Thanks for saving me the trip. Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix it up right.
The idle mind sleeps.
The Master calls.
Plenty of work in the mine if you're looking.
The idle mind sleeps.
The Master calls.
If you're looking for the East Empire Company, they've been gone for over 100 years. Try and win hell.
Careful, Miri.
Where'd you come
Some...
from? I'll make it
I
quick.
won't allow you to
Promise.
ruin years of planning.
You're nothing.
House Lala will have its revenge. I won't allow you to ruin years of
It's not my time.
What now? Oh, you're off on your own for a while? All right. Oh, what is it? Let's go.
Damn Ash. Can I help you?
If you intend to wander Solstheim, you do so at your own risk.
Did you find any evidence at Severin Manor yet? Then we finally have them. All that remains now is chasing them down and bringing them to justice. Good. I'm going to send 2 of the best Redoran Guard we have to take them down. I want you to assist them any way you can. See that you do. We can't afford to let these traitors slip away. Ashfallow Citadel's been abandoned for a long time.
You can go where you please, but I'd stay inside for forward.
I'm glad to see you're well. I don't like sending people off to battle.